Woman's Revenge. In the past. Interior, Anna's childhood house. Dining room, night. Silence in the room except the noise of a ceiling fan. Two men sitting around a table playing cards. Two other men standing behind one of the player. Pile of money on the table. Bottle of vodka. Few glass. Pack of cigarettes. And an ashtray. Anna's father holding 5 cards. 4 jacks and an ace. Takes a deep breath and puts his cards on the table. He pushes a big pile of cash to the middle of the table.
All in.
Alexander, late 20s, not friendly face. A tattoo of butterfly with wings on fire on his wrist. He puts his cards on the table, stares at Anna's father without a blink. Anna's father bends his head looking at his own cards, and from his face, slow motion, a drop of sweat falls on the table. Alexander eyes the drop and smiles. Anna's father gives Alexander a glimpse and wipes his face with his hand. Alexander grabs a pack of cigarettes from the table and pulls out a cigarette and puts it in his mouth. A hand from behind his shoulder holding a lighter reaches out and lights the cigarette.
You know, if you win this hand, you're a free man.
Alexander turns his head left and right. 2 men standing behind him, Zach and Tony, both early 30s, big muscled guys. He smiles. They look at Alexander, nod, and smile with their arms crossed. Alexander turns back to Anna's father.
But if you lose...
Alexander blows the smoke at Anna's father's face. Anna's father coughs.
How will you pay me back all the money you already owe me?
Alexander puts off the cigarette and pulls a gun from under his coat and puts it on the table. Anna's father eyes the gun and breathes heavy with sweat covering his face.
I'll pay you back everything, Alexander.
Anna's father stops and catches his breath.
A promise.
Alexander puts his hands on the table and leans closer to Anna's father.
I know you will, because you have no other choice. But this time, I know you have nothing left. No money, no assets, no gold. Except this house, which is not...
Alexander stops talking and with his finger signs everyone to be quiet. Vague singing voice from distance. He turns his head, pointing his ear to the source of the voice.
Shh! Do you guys hear that? Sounds like an angel singing.
Zach looks at Tony and smiles. Tony nods and smiles back.
That's my daughter, Anna. I'll tell her to be quiet.
Anna's father gets up. Alexander points his finger to Anna's father.
No bother.
Anna's father sits back. Alexander gets up and walks to the living room where the singing comes from. He sees Anna laying on the couch and she's wearing a noticeably short skirt and her legs are crossed. She has a headphone set on her ears. She's singing and holding a magazine. Alexander stares at her and smiles. On his way back to the table, he looks at Zach and nods. Zach switches Alexander's cards very quickly with 5 other cards from his pocket. Alexander joins the table and looks at Anna's father.
Well. Your Anna's all grown up. She is woman now.
Alexander picks his cards up.
Are you in or not?
But you didn't answer my question yet. How will you pay me if you lose?
I'll figure it out.
Oh no, we'll figure it out before I call. Because I do have a suggestion for you.
Both Zach and Tony smile and look at each other.
What kind of suggestion?
Well, if you win, you win. But if you lose, I take everything you own, including your daughter.
Anna's father storms out of his chair. Tony and Zach pull their guns and aim toward him.
You sick motherfucker. You want me to bet my daughter?
Alexander relaxes back on his chair and puts his feet on the table and waves to Tony and Zach.
Guys, chill. He's just not thinking straight.
Anna's father eyes Alexander, breathes heavy, and shakes his head of anger.
You can't do this to me.
Alexander grabs the bottle of vodka from the table and pours some in 2 glasses and hands one to Anna's father.
Relax.
Anna's father grabs the glass and drinks to the bottom.
I'm not doing anything, my friend. I'm giving you a chance to be free. Look at your cards one more time and think about it.
Anna's father breathes heavy. He looks at his cards, turns his head towards Anna's direction, and listens to her singing.
God, please, I promise I will never play again, only this time.
Anna's father takes a deep breath.
Deal.
Alexander smiles and pushes all his money to the pot.
Call. What you got?
Anna's father flips his cards. His eyes move between the money and Alexander. Alexander laughs loud and looks at Zach and Tony. They start laughing. Anna's father looks at them.
What?
Alexander calms down.
Wow, man. This is one of a million hand. It is. And to beat it, I need one of 2 million hands.
Anna's father smiles and his face are all sweat. He puts his hand on the pot to pull it. Alexander put one hand on the pot and with the second hand reveals his cards. Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5 of club.